Hey, welcome to Social Saturday. I am so happy to have my really good friend here, Bonnie. She was hired as Walter, but later changed her name on down the road. And Bonnie was hired with Pan Am, she thought in 1965, but didn't start flying till 1966. Bonnie, tell us about that.
Well, I was in Atlanta, where I'm from, and working downtown, dressed to the nines because in '65 we still dressed and wore gloves and hats, and my roommate from college had been hired and brought the beautiful brochures, and I thought, oh, this is fabulous, I want to do this. So I called up New York. I said, can I come and interview? And they said, well, we're just setting up interviews for the very first time in Atlanta. So I went October 13, 1965, hired on the spot. And then when I told my boss, he said, well, I'm going to give you 3 months pay because you really never took a vacation. And so I thought, well, maybe I'll stay in Atlanta for Christmas and New Year's. And so then finally, Pan Am called me after a couple of letters and said, are you coming or not? And I said, oh, I'll be there in 5 days.
But you didn't realize at the time all that seniority you were going to lose, did you?
Oh, no. Had I known, I would have gone right away. And I didn't realize how fabulous it was going to be.
Well, so Bonnie, when you went for your interview, I know your language was Spanish,
Hmm.
but there was a gentleman who hired you that said that really tell them how you dressed when you went for that interview, and I guarantee you that's one of the reasons they probably hired you on the spot.
As I said, gloves, hat, and I worked downtown. I was an executive secretary to a big corporation, and
So he just wanted you, didn't
well, he just thought I looked the part, I guess.
he? But you do always and still do. So after you got hired, you went to training in Miami, and you wanted to be based in Miami, but unfortunately you couldn't. So where were you based?
New York.
And then you went to New York, and do you remember what your first flight was?
It was San Juan.
San Juan. Okay. So exciting, San Juan, and you could use your Spanish.
Yes.
So after New York, you transferred to Los Angeles and pretty much stayed in Los Angeles rest of your career with Pan Am, right?
Yes.
Why did you like LA so much?
Small base. Everybody knew everybody. They were so much fun. Our layovers were fabulous, and we had fun on board the airplane. I mean, we joked and kidded with the passengers, and it was just great. And we shared the round the worlds with New York. What could be better? And we got Australia, New Zealand.
You had all the best flying out of the in the Pacific.
Absolutely.
So tell us, what was your favorite layover destination on the around the worlds,
Beirut.
and why Beirut?
The gold market was incredible. $65 an ounce. An alley that looked like the five and dime, but it was all 24 karat gold. Hamada Street had, French clothing at affordable prices and shoes. And the food was fabulous. It was a combination of European and Middle Eastern. The fresh fruits and vegetables came from the mountains. So delicious. I've never eaten better in my life. And the nightlife. This Le Cave du Bois was where we all love to go, down in a cellar. And oh, yes, it was. And the music was wonderful.
And that's why they called it the Paris of the Middle East, right?
That is
That's
exactly right.
So you and I shared a star on a plane one time. Yours was much earlier than mine, and I think we both had the pleasure of having Elizabeth Taylor on our flight,
Yeah,
didn't we?
yes, we
Tell me
did.
about her and your ring.
Oh, her ring, yes. Oh my goodness. It was the real thing, the big one. And and I I asked her, she was in 1J on the 747, and I asked her, I said, "Oh, that's so beautiful. Is that the real one?" And she said, "Oh, yes, darling. If I had left it in England, Dickie would have taken it." They were having a little tiff.
A
So,
tip then.
yes.
And when I had her on, she was married to John Warner and needed a wheelchair, so she asked me to help her into the restroom until the passengers got off. Then I put her in her wheelchair and we rolled her off.
Oh,
the
so they
plane.
wouldn't see. Yes.
Yes.
We put bourbon. We put special bourbon on for her. Did she?
No, she didn't have anything special on when
Oh,
I did,
oh,
but I
okay.
did keep her swizzle stick. Anyway, so Bonnie, tell me a little bit about the hat and the uniform you're wearing. Is this the one you started in?
Don Loper. It's the exact. This is
The
my
original Don Loper that you started in, and you can still get in it.
Yes.
Yes,
I
and
did.
the hat as well, right?
Oh, yes. It has little moth holes
Well,
in the
it's
top.
one of my favorite uniforms.
Me too.
I thought it was one of the best uniforms
Oh.
Pan Am ever
Well,
had. Thank you for joining us on Social Saturday, Bonnie. Thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you
Oh.
here. And let's go have a margarita.
Oh, yes.
Let's go.
I'm
Next
down.
time on Social Saturday, have a great day. Bye bye.